What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Acts of Creation. Today we're going to be taking a look at some 8-string chord voicings, and we're going to be looking at some chords in standard tuning and drop E tunings. So we're going to start off in standard tuning on our 8th string, and our lowest string, if you're unfamiliar with it, is F sharp, and then the 7th string, if you have 7th string, that's a B. All right. So if we're new to this, I would definitely recommend exploring just the chords within or that surround, say, an F sharp. And in this case, I'm going to do F sharp minor. And we can take the notes that make up that chord, right? F sharp, A, C sharp, right? And we can build chords on every one of those. F sharp minor, A major 7, and C sharp minor 7. Sharp minor, and then back to the F sharp chord again. It sounds really nice, and that's a fun way to explore the different chords over the low F sharp. So now let's look at some bigger chords, some fuller type chords. And we're going to start out with an A major chord. It's actually an A major 7 sharp 11 chord. It's a big fancy name. It's just an A major chord with a B and a D sharp added to it. But we're going to grab the A on our low F sharp, which is the 3rd fret. And that note is A. We got a nice big full sounding A chord, which is the best part about the 8th string. Lift up, open F sharp. Really nice chord. Essentially it's the same chord with an F sharp underneath it, or you can think about it as a very extended F sharp minor chord. All right, so we have the A chord, F sharp. Now we're going to step up and play a D sus2 chord, and then an E sus2 chord. All right, so those two chords, you have 8th fret on the low 8, open A, 7 of the D string, 9 of the G string, and then you can add the 2 open high strings if you want. Sounds very nice. And then we're just going to move that up a whole step, and we're going to add an extra bar, an extra note with the first finger here. So we have 9, 9, so it's 10, 9 on the A, 9 on the D, 11 of the G, open high strings. Take the chord that we started with and put it up essentially an octave higher. This is one of my favorite chord voicings. Works really well. So I have the 10th fret on my B string, skip 2 strings, 11 and 11 on the D and the G, and then we have 9 on the B string and open E. Get a nice F sharp minor chord here, low F sharp, and then a minor bar chord, or a minor 9 bar chord here. All right, 9 on your A, 11 of the D, 9, 9, 9 on the top 3 strings. Really nice chord there. Then we get a nice A major chord again, over B, kind of like an A major 9 or an add 9 sound. So I got the open B ringing out there, and then a little A major triad, and then 12th fret with my pinky on the B, and then a high E string. We can play a C sharp minor chord, sounds really nice. All right. 7 of my low 8 I should say. 7 of the A, 6 on the D, 8 on the G. Nice C sharp minor chord there. Let's play another F sharp minor chord. Low F sharp, 4 of the A, 7 of the D, 6 of the C sharp, 6 on the G string, which is C sharp. Bar it and grab the G sharp on the high string. It makes a nice F sharp minor 9 chord right there. Then we're back to where we started. All right. So the tab, the transcription for all this is in the link below. Definitely check it out. You can follow along, learn these chords for yourself. I'm going to play through it real fast, and then we'll check out some drop E chords. So now for our drop E chords, we're gonna initially start out like we did with the F sharp with the standard tuning and just explore some E minor chords and some variations, right? So it's very similar chords. E minor chord, move it up, you get a G major chord, G major 7, move it up, play another E minor 7. All right, we can play that B minor. Play another E minor. Play a nice B open string. Love that voicing. Big fan of that voicing. The best thing about the A string is you get the really low and the really high register, and you span a really wide range of register. It sounds great. So the drop E might be a little easier to grasp because we're used to having an E string. Right? So anything on our 6th string is the same as our low string. And when we're in the drop tuning, you know, most of you are familiar, you get a power chord there. Right? So we can just extend big bar chords if that's what you want to experiment with. But I want to do something a little further than that. So like I said, just like the standard tuning, we can explore the notes of an E minor chord, E, G, B, and you get E minor, G major, B minor. And all of those chords are going to sound really good on top of just the E power chord underneath. Right? So if we were to take a B minor bar chord, right, 2nd position, and move that way up in the 14th position, and now we can add some open strings, maybe the open G string, open E, or I can use my pinky, grab A on that 17th fret, right? And then we can play the low E power chord underneath that. Sounds great. And then we can just walk backwards through all those chords. E minor, B minor, I can play a G major 7 chord here. Sound really nice. Obviously an E minor chord, G major, E minor. All those chords are going to really sound good, and that might experiment with adding some open strings, because I like to add open strings to those notes anyway, to the low pedal tone of E, or the low drone of E. So now, again, stretching down to the low string, let's look at some larger chord structures here. Right? We can play this very similar to the chord we had in the F sharp example, just a different root underneath it, right? So if I play 4 on the A, 7 on the D, 6 on the G, and my open, that's an A chord. So I can grab A now is on the 5th fret, a nice big A major chord. A major 9, sounds really nice. If you want, you can even bar, get the power chord down here. Or you can play the open E with it. Take it down. Nice F sharp minor chord or an A chord, A sounding chord with the F sharp in the bass. A little non-traditional, move that up a half step, and one of my favorite voicings. Get a nice G major, sharp 11 chord, G major 7, sharp 11, because the G, just like in your E here, 3 goes down here. So that chord would be 3 on the low, 8, right? Open D, open A if you wanted to, 4 on the D, 4 on the G, 2, your C sharp, there's your sharp 11, open E. Sounds really nice. Keep the chord the same and just put an open B. Alright, I can maybe move C sharp up the D there. Get a nice B minor sound. Really full sounding. Keeping the low E in the bass, I grab G sharp here on the E string, 4, 2, big E7 chord. Let's just turn around back to the A. All right, so that's low, open E, 4 on the E string, skip a string, 2 on the D, 4 on the G, 3 on the B string, open E. Big E7 chord. Really nice chord, and that brings us nicely back to A. So those are some fun voicings, a little more interesting than just playing maybe an extended bar chord. All right, so I'll play through that really fast. Again, the links for the tabs are in the description. Definitely check it out. Experiment with your own chord voicings. Like I always do, experiment with adding open strings, not necessarily just low strings to all your chords. And as always, let me know what you come up with.